Hello and welcome to Supposedly Fun. My name is Greg.
I'm Joel.
And you know Teddy, who is all over Joel right now because Joel has been baking.
Yes.
Fall baking season has started. We are here, of course, to do our reading wrap-up for the month of September and talk about what we might read in October. But fall has hit where we live.
Yes, it has. So we broke out the flannels. We have our apple cider.
Yes.
I've started baking. I did some Italian butter cookies. And right now, I have a white chocolate pistachio babka in the oven.
He does.
So I may have a amazing. I may have a timer in 30 minutes go off. So
it's possible. It's very possible. So how was your reading month in September? You had a month.
I've had a month.
You have had a month.
I've had a lot going on between work and stuff. So my reading month was not fantastic, but what I did read was good.
Considering everything, you had a great reading month.
Yeah.
So, and I managed to read 9 books.
Yeah, I had 4.
5. I was just thinking, is that right? And Teddy got a haircut on Friday.
He did. Look how handsome this boy is.
He is exceptionally handsome, especially right now. Look at you. Look at how handsome he is. He might not stay, as you all know.
Yeah.
We'll see. We just took him for a walk, so he's probably exhausted.
Yeah. So we had a big walk out in the fall weather.
Yes, and he enjoyed it.
Yes.
So, do you want me to go first?
You got the big list, so why don't you go first?
My list. Speaking of, okay. The first book that I finished in September was The Land in Winter by Andrew Miller, and that was something that is on the Booker Prize long list. I did a whole dedicated video just to review that book. I'll link it down below, so I won't really spend a whole lot of time talking about it here. You can go there for a lot more information, but I'll just tell you, it was fine. I didn't really love it. I didn't really love any of the books that I read off of the Booker long list. I didn't finish, but I didn't really enjoy it, and because I didn't really enjoy it, I don't feel very invested in it. So that was my experience with The Land in Winter by Andrew Miller. Since that one was kind of a throwaway, do you want me to go again, or do you want to
go again?
Jump
because
in?
2 of mine are going to go together.
Okay, so I got it. I'm reaching around a dog here. So the next book that I finished was Signal Fires by Dani Shapiro. This one is a lot of fun because when we were back east, we were with my sister and she knows I love bookstores, go figure. So she took us to a bookstore in Ridgefield, Connecticut called Books on the Common. And I got to talk to one of the booksellers and told her a little bit about what I like. And she recommended a couple of books, and Signal Fires was one of them. And she was absolutely right. I loved this book. It's in my top 10. I don't remember where it is, but it's one of the books that is making this an extremely competitive year for my best reads. I really loved it. I ended up listening to it on audio, but this is a hard book to explain because it's about the intertwining lives of 2 families who live across the street from each other. And it moves back and forth in time in the way that a lot of books these days do. It opens with a story about 2 teenagers, a brother and a sister, who are in the car with a friend of theirs. And the younger brother, who is not old enough to drive, is driving, and he gets into an accident. And the friend who is in the car with them dies. And when they get out, the sister takes responsibility. She claims that she was driving. So all of them harbor guilt that carries into the future about this, including the father, who is a doctor and who made a critical mistake in responding to the accident. But it's also about their relationship with the neighbors and how which kind of just reminded me of life in a neighborhood, because at one point the doctor across the street remarks about how the people across the street have a baby. He has a connection to that baby. And then one day the front door of that house opens and a little boy comes out, and he's like, "Who's the boy?" "Oh, it's the baby." And that has happened to us with the people who live across the street. Yeah. And I'm going to tilt so you can actually, Teddy is being very cute, but, he's sitting. Okay, there we go. So, it's a great book. It's a really beautifully written book. It was recommended to me specifically because I like Barbara Kingsolver and books that sort of showcase empathy and things about humanity and compassion, and it hits all of those beats. I loved it. Absolutely loved
I'm
it.
gonna do it.
And I can't wait to read more by Danny Shapiro.
Yeah.
So that was my next read.
Awesome. That sounds fun.
Yeah.
My first two, I finished last month. I talked about doing the trilogy, the series of the Game Changer, the male-on-male romance hockey series. I finished the last two books, The Long Game, which follows Shane and Elia, which were the two that were in the heated rivalry. So it's these two hockey players who have this big rivalry and hate each other. And, but for years they've been having an affair. And so finally in the long game, they come out of hiding and kind of talk about their relationship. And so it caused a lot of people some distress. So really good book. But the one before that was Role Models, which is about Troy, who just got transferred from one team to another. He was friends with a guy who was accused of rape. And so when he came to the new team, everybody kind of hated him. But the social media director saw something in him and became friends with him. And then they kind of built a relationship. And it was actually really good to see these two men, how they grew and came from going someplace where he felt hated, he hated everybody, but coming out of his shell. And it dealt a lot with dogs, and it was fantastic.
We love dogs.
Yes.
Go figure.
And then with the long game, it wraps up everything to a nice, tight little, because the whole 7-book series is all intertwined. So really good series. Only a couple books had a high spice level. Most of them had a lower spice level, but dealt with a lot of issues. And so I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
So,
we are more about the relationship than we are about the spice.
yes.
That's just the way we roll. All right, ready for me?
Yes.
All right, my next one was Hunchback by Sao Ichikawa and translated by Polly Barton. That had been on the long list for the International Booker Prize earlier this year. It is currently, as I'm filming this, on the long list for the National Book Award for Translated Literature. By the time you watch this, that shortlist may have been announced because it's coming very quickly. And I don't know if it will make it. It is a bit of a polarizing book. I've heard a lot of people who loved it, a lot of people who hated it. What's interesting about it is that it is about perceptions of people living with disability. The protagonist and the author both live with a congenital muscle disorder and are very limited in what they can do. So it deals with the perceptions of them, the stereotypes of people who are living with a disability, and it's really interesting. It is very kind of provocative as well. You know, the protagonist has a Twitter account where she likes to tweet things that nobody really notices them, but she will tweet out things that some people might think are rude or not quite adhering to societal mores. Teddy wants to go, so I'm going to let him. And like in one of them, she mentions that she would like to get pregnant and to experience what that is like, but she'd also like to get an abortion and experience what that is like. So I think the content is deliberately prickly, and for that reason, your response to it might vary. But I found it a very interesting book. I think if you aren't sure you would get on with it, Elena Knows by Claudia Pinheiro and translated by Francis Riddle is another really great book that deals with disability. And that might be a little... It's a hard read too, but it might be a better fit for you. So that was my next one.
Sweet.
Yeah. What do you have?
My next one was The Correspondent by Virginia Evans.
I love this book.
This was one Greg really liked, so
Yes.
I wanted to get into it. And it was fantastic. I really enjoyed it.
In fact, Joel told me that he needed a book recommendation and I should pick something. I in hindsight, I think you wanted me to pick a short book for Shorty September.
Yeah.
And I just went gung-ho like, you need to read The Correspondent.
Okay.
So he did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really good. It follows Sylvia
Sybil Van Antwerp.
Sybil.
I love the
I
name.
can't say it.
Yeah, but I love it.
Van Antwerp.
Sybil Van Antwerp, yes.
So it kind of follows her life, and it's all through letters. And
It's an epistolary novel.
epistolary.
Yeah.
I love that word.
Yeah.
And I love those kind of books.
Yeah.
And so it kind of follows her life over the years, relationship with her daughter, her ex-husband, a young boy that she kind of is friends with through his years. It's actually an interesting book, and towards the very end, it just gets very emotional and a little sad, but it wraps up nicely.
Yes,
So,
I love this book. It's one of my favorite books of the year.
yeah, it's going to be up there. I haven't placed it yet, but it's going to be up there for me.
Yeah, it's a very good book.
Yeah.
And the audio is fantastic. So
I did the audio.
I think so.
I think I did.
Yeah.
And really good. So.
Yeah, very good. All right, are you ready for me?
Yep.
Well, the next one was Flesh by David Zaloy. That was also part of the Booker Prize long list, and I'll have the review. Where will I have the review?
Down below.
Down below. And you can go there to get more information about it. And again, I ranked the books as I was reading them, and Flesh came out on top, but it's like on the Great British Bake Off when there's a technical and somebody comes in first and Paul Hollywood's like, don't clap. It's still that good. It's just the best of it. So that was my experience with the Booker long list. So do you want me to just jump to my next one?
Yep.
The Museum of Ordinary People by Mike Gale.
That was my recommendation to you.
Yes, we kind of swapped.
Yeah.
So you had read it earlier in the
I
year.
love that book.
And it's cute.
It's very cute.
It's cute. So it's about a woman. I'm forgetting her name already.
I know.
Doesn't matter. Her mother had died fairly recently, and she had to clean out the mother's house. And in the process of doing so, she's in a relationship with a guy who's kind of encouraging her to sell her mother's house and sell all of the belongings. There's a set of encyclopedias that her mother had given her when she was a teenager that really mean a lot to her, and she feels like they don't really fit in their apartment, and she feels like she needs to get rid of them, but she doesn't want to throw them out. So she's looking for something to do with them, and she hears tell about the Museum of Ordinary People, where you can take things that are beloved and mean something to you, but maybe don't have too much value, and this museum will hold it. She becomes very fascinated with the museum and begins working as a curator for them, and learns a lot about herself, kind of comes into her own, and it's a very cute book and a sweet book. By the way, if you hear our chairs are bumping up against each other, that's what that noise is. Yeah. So just to be clear. So it's really cute.
I thought a really good book on just like family heirlooms. Sometimes you really don't know what to do with them, and sometimes they don't fit. But it's family heirlooms, but it's just like, this whole museum had stuff from people like that and telling their story. Yeah. And some of the stories were very interesting. So, and finding herself and learning about other people.
Yeah. Because I think it's also about how ordinary lives also have meaning, because a lot of these objects relate to a person who was alive and had a whole life and wants and needs and desires, and it's worth remembering stuff like that. So
it was by Mike Gale. He was recommended if you like Matt Cain or Ryan Love, that genre of books. It's just that wholesome, nice little story. So it's fun.
Yeah, a little cinnamon bun. I'd say. Do you want to go?
Sure. Okay. I don't know where I found this or why I read it, but it's called Puzzle for Two by Josh Lanyon, and it follows Zach and Flint. It's a mystery.
Yeah. No, you had fun with it, didn't you?
Yeah, I had fun with it. So Zach is taking over his father's PI business and gets this interesting case, and the case gets extremely weird, and so he goes to his competitor and kind of says something. Goes, "Oh no, get away from this guy. He's crazy. Oh, don't do it." Well, then
red flag,
big red flags and everything, and then a big twist happens, and so he is relying on Flint, his competition in the PI business. So he and Flint kind of solve this mystery together. So it's actually a good mystery. A lot of fun, very queer element to it. So,
which we love.
yeah, I loved it. So,
Yeah, so it was fun.
Yeah.
And could be fun for somebody in October, maybe.
Yes.
There you go.
It is a little mystery.
Yeah. So think about it.
Yeah.
Think about it. Ready for me?
I am.
Okay. My next one was Mrs. Miniver by Jan Struther. This was something I had included in my pile of possibilities for Shorty September. And I didn't think that I was going to read it. A lot of the time when I'm finished one book, you have witnessed this a lot. I'll have like a pile of 4 or 5 books and I'll sort of sit and go through them. And this one actually fit the mood. So if you follow along, you know I'm also really into the Academy Awards. You certainly know that.
I do.
And the Mrs. Miniver is a Best Picture winning movie. It won Best Actress for Greer Garson, Best Supporting Actress for Teresa Wright, Best Director for William Wyler. So it's a big Academy movie, and this is what it was based on. And there are definite differences in the book and the movie, but these were originally published in a newspaper. So all of the chapters are about 3 to 4 pages. They're very short, which makes it very easy to read through. And they're just very charming stories about Mrs. Miniver and her family in the build-up to World War II. So basically what I said in my Friday reads at the time was that this is sort of like Keep Calm and Carry On embodied in literary form, because it worked to help British people. It was a very popular series over there, and then it was compiled into a book, and then it was sold here. And the movie, Roosevelt, and both Eleanor and Franklin credited Mrs. Miniver with helping lead the United States into war and helping American citizens feel like they wanted to get involved. So it's a really interesting piece of history as well, and it's a pretty charming book. So it was a good read, all in all. Do you want to keep going, or do you want me to keep going?
Go for one more.
All right. Well, my next one was Balzac and the Little Chinese Seamstress by Daisiji, and it was fine. I actually don't even have it anymore. I had that book forever.
Yeah.
I think it came out in paperback in 2001 or 2002. And I've had it ever since, waiting to be read. And, you know, I've moved multiple times in all those years that I had this book. We moved to, it survived Manhattan. I had one bookshelf when we lived in Manhattan, and it was one of those. And then it made it over here. I've had so many times when I've culled books before. Joel helped expand my library. And, you know, so it was a little disappointing after all that time to read it and think, it's fine. And what's really funny is now, I when I was looking at my list this morning and I was talking to you, I was like, I don't even know if I have read anything to say about that book, because I've already forgotten a lot of the details. And so let's just leave it at that. What do you have?
My last one was, another book, I don't know where it was recommended to me, but it sounded fun, called The Eyes and the Impossible by Dave Eggers. And that's right, it's my last.
Oh, it's all good.
It was it's about a dog in, I think it's supposed to be like Central Park, but they don't call it that. But this dog in the park, he is the eyes of the park, and he reports back what's happening in the park to his friends, who are a bison, a seagull, and it sounded a little quirky and mystery and mythical. And it's like, I almost didn't read it, but our niece read it, and she really liked it, and wants her mom to read it. And so I told her mom, I'll read it, and I'll call Mimi, and we'll talk about the book.
Yeah.
And so we're supposed to do a call today, and it was just a super cute, sweet book, and it follows the happenings in this park and the people in the park. And I love, they call the controllers of the animals, so animal control, or the controllers of the animals. And that's how, because he can't read, but one of the animals can read, so she'll translate. So it's just this really great book, and he finds the people in the squares that are the people in the rectangles that he's very excited about. But I don't want to say what it gets into, because it's like a big part of the ending. But the people in the rectangles were fascinated for him, and he just would stare at him. And every time he would get there and stare at him, he would either get caught by somebody who wanted a dog or the controllers of the animals. And it's just a silly, fun book.
Yeah, and it's fun. It's fun to be able to talk to our niece about books. She's really into them right now. Hopefully that will last because her older sister was really into books and then she became a teenager and that kind of dropped off. I think she'll work her way back. She does still read, just not with the voraciousness that she did before. Right. But and she has this niece has a book club. It's really cute. It's really cute. And she's just adorable. So it's nice to have that.
Well, the older one, what was she reading? The Stand?
Yeah.
Is like, oh my, it's a brick.
Yeah.
And she was into it, so.
She likes dark things.
Yeah.
She's a teenager. So it's the way it goes.
Yeah.
Speaking of dark things.
I love dark things.
It was just before the end of September, so we're starting to get into October. Fall started to settle over the place where we live, and my thoughts turned to murder. Murder. And I read Agatha Christie's The Murder of Roger Ackroyd. There's the title right there. It's just an outline, silhouette of her on the cover. I have read a lot of Agatha Christie. I had not read this one. It's a Hercule Poirot book. I'm not as much of a fan of Hercule Poirot. I'm a Miss Marple guy through and through.
I like his mustache, though.
Yes, he does have an incredible mustache. Yes. But, so I tend to lean more toward the Miss Marple of things. So I hadn't read this one, but a lot of people say that this is the best Agatha Christie. And for me, there's a high bar there because And Then There Were None exists. And that still has not been cleared for me. But the downfall is the ending of this one had been spoiled for me. So I knew what was going to happen. I didn't get to be surprised. And I think if you are able to go into this book without spoilers, not knowing what's going to happen, you will be surprised. Because the best Agatha Christie books are the ones that use your expectations for how a mystery works against you. And this is one of those books through and through. Similar to And Then There Were None, similar to Murder on the Orient Express, similar to The Mousetrap, which you appeared in high school.
In high school, I played Detective Sergeant Trotter.
Yes.
For those who know.
Yes.
So and we are going to go see a production of And There Were None in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, I think 2 weeks.
Yeah, 2 weeks.
So that'll be fun.
Yeah.
So it was fun. I don't do a lot of mysteries anymore, so I tend to favor classic whodunits, and to me, Agatha Christie, as difficult as it can be to go back, anybody writing at the time, especially in the mystery genre, feels problematic. She's got her areas, but she is kind of the queen of the classic whodunit to me, and that's the form of mystery that I like.
And you're good at guessing that.
I don't think I would have guessed this one. If it hadn't been spoiled for me, I don't think, and I can't say, I can't say why. I cannot say why. But I don't think I would have guessed this one.
And
so
I read And There Were None last year, I think, and I've totally forgot the ending. So the play will be a surprise.
Well, I wonder because a lot of the time when And Then There Were None is adapted, they change the ending.
Yeah.
So we'll find out.
Curious what the play is.
Yeah. We'll find out.
What else?
And then my final book for the month of September. So on September 29th, The Dogs of Venice by Stephen Rowley arrived in the mail from Putnam. This comes out October 14th, so there will be links to all of the books that we're going to talk about down below. And if you follow the link to this one, it would be a pre-order link for the next 2 weeks. But it seemed cute. It seemed charming. It's very short. It's 64 pages, I believe. Let's just take a peeky peek.
I may take it with me.
It's 62 pages.
Ooh.
So it's a cute story. Stephen Riley is pretty reliable for cute, sort of charming, funny stories. It's about a man named Paul who was planning a trip to Venice with his husband, and they spent months getting ready for this trip. And then, not long before they were supposed to go, his husband tells him that he wants a divorce. So they begin the process of separating. Paul decides he wants to take the trip himself. So he ends up in Venice alone, and he's reflecting on how he's not good at being alone. He's not good at being by himself, and he wants to use this trip to try to figure out how to live that way. And he sees a dog in Venice, and this dog is confident, inhabits space without any fear or sense of intimidation of the people around him. And he sort of becomes obsessed with the dog because that's the way he wants to be. So that's what it's about.
Fun.
And it is very short, but it's cute, charming in all the Stephen Rowley ways. And, you know, if you're looking for a way to while away an afternoon, you really could not do... there's so many things you could do that would be worse than The Dogs of Venice, for sure. So that is what how I ended September.
Nice.
What are you carrying into October?
I do want to give a quick shout out because I've already done one book in October, and
yes.
I absolutely loved it.
He's obsessed.
Yeah. Atmosphere by
Taylor Jenkins Reid.
Yeah, I can't get all those names together.
Yeah.
Atmosphere is really good. It's very lesbian astronaut vibes, and it is everything. And it's actually a super sweet book. It's very emotional towards the end, and I was just like, it has all the feels.
Yeah.
So totally winter cozy reading, and it is fantastic.
Yeah,
I loved it.
He loved it.
And a lot of people I've talked to have also loved it. I haven't talked to anybody who hasn't.
And you recommended it to both of my sisters, and I think, well, one of them already wanted to read it, but so between them and me, we could have our own little book club.
We should.
We should. And we were joking this morning that we should start a book club called Lesbians Doing Things.
Yes.
Because this one has sort of
astronauts,
lesbian astronauts, Matrix, lesbian nun, lesbian girl boss nun. So it's like, this should be a thing. I would be into that. So that's how he started October. What are you working on now?
We just got the release of Exquisite Things by Abdi Nazimi.
Oh, yes, we did. I'm going to show the...
talk
about it, but I'm going to find the...
I know very little about this book, and I'm very excited because I love him, and I hear it holds up to everything he does.
Yes. He had a blip last year because we are Abdi Nazemian fans.
Big fans.
Yeah. I didn't finish the one from last year. You did.
Last one was Desert Echoes.
Yes.
And it was a personal thing for him.
Yes.
So I'm sure for him, it was everything that he needed. For me, I did not like it.
Yeah.
But it was a personal thing. And then I'm doing Bears and Bakeries with the big bear who likes to bake.
Yes. And this was recommended by the folks at FMC Bookstore, which stands for Female Main Character.
Yep.
If you know, you know. It's a romance bookstore that just opened in Missoula, and the owner is a lovely, lovely woman.
She is so awesome.
Yes.
She actually has all of the Rachel Reed books, my hockey series. And it's like, oh my God, look, they're all here. But I'm not going to.
And she was thrilled to hear that you liked them.
I loved them, yes.
Yeah.
And it was a good series.
Yeah.
So
anyway, we pre-ordered this from Chevalier's Bookstore, which is a bookstore in California near, I guess, where Abdi Nazemian lives. And because it's close to him, he was going to be signing books for anyone who pre-ordered it there. So that's why we really specifically pre-ordered it from them, because we knew we would get a signed copy. So the downside, I said it was for Gregory and Joel, but it's only signed to Gregory. So that was a little unfortunate. I'm sorry you got left off.
Abdi, if you're watching,
he needs a personal note with an illustration like this
look
one.
At that.
I don't know if it's blurry because I held it really close, and it says "Stay exquisite," so that's fun.
Yeah, so I'm very excited to read it.
Yeah, and hopefully, I'm glad to hear early feedback that it is as
really
good
book,
as Abdi Nazemian's previous work. So.
What
am I carrying into October? Well, yesterday I was trying to think about, do I want to keep my spooky vibe thing going? Because I had just finished Murder of Roger Ackroyd, and I thought I struggled with the first 3 books in Neo Marsh's Roderick Allen series. Okay. Why don't I try book 4? I think the timer's just going off. Yeah.
Why?
It was not good. I got 30-something pages in and bailed. Bailed hard. And we're going to pause for a moment while Joel does his baking thing. He's back.
Hi.
From checking on the babka. So I only got 34 pages in. Usually I need to get 50 pages in order to consider a book something I'm reading, and therefore something that I have DNF. I didn't get far enough for that. But you know what? This year, I have not had the opportunity to drop or throw a book, so I wanted to at least mention it here, because that series has been a struggle for me. Somebody did say that the books later on get better, So if you've read this, tell me if that's true, because especially after this one, I hated the opening of that book. So I would have a really hard time picking up another one in the series. But let me know. I'm inclined to just say that's it for me. So this morning, I dove into Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier, which I think will fit the sort of, what? So if you know The Devil Wears Prada, the name Rebecca has a very specific, like, super fan meaning. Yes. So you keep saying it in the Meryl Streep voice. Yes. Rebecca.
Rebecca. That's the woman he left his wife for.
Rebecca. And I think this is going to fit all of the spooky October vibes that I was kind of looking for. I don't do horror very well. So I think this and like Agatha Christie is sort of my way of stepping into that sort of October Halloween season vibe. Now, if you are not familiar with Rebecca, I don't know where you have been, but I'm also an Academy Awards nerd. So the film adaptation of Rebecca, directed by Alfred Hitchcock, won Best Picture for the year 1940. It is a great movie. It's a great movie. I love it. I love that movie. We should watch it. I'm so excited to watch it because you are not prepared for Judith Anderson in that movie. She plays Mrs. Danvers. And she's so good. And Joan Fontaine plays the lead.
Love her.
Who's not Rebecca.
Okay.
And Laurence Olivier. So this is about a woman who's young. She is working as a travel companion for this very snooty woman. And they are traveling, and she meets Maxim de Winter. And they start hanging out because her companion falls ill, and she spends a lot of time with him. Well, she gets married to Maxim de Winter and goes to his house, Manderley. And there, she starts learning about Maxim de Winter's previous wife, Rebecca. The new wife is never named, and because she feels like she is in the shadows of Rebecca, and Mrs. Danvers is very loyal to Rebecca. So I can't wait to watch this movie with you. And if you don't like it, that's fine.
No,
it will not offend me. But I am
fun.
so excited about it.
I love Alfred Hitchcock, so.
Yeah, and I've never read the book, so this is fun for me. It's fun for me.
Yeah.
In terms of things that I might do in October, I am really looking forward to reading The Wilderness by Angela Flournoy, which at the moment we're filming this is longlisted for the National Book Award for Fiction. It's also shortlisted for the Kirkus Prize. And I'm guessing that by the time you see this, it will probably have been shortlisted for the National Book Award. But we shall see. I'm really looking forward to that. I also want to get back to Buckeye. By the way, I should mention I did have a DNF, like one that actually qualifies as a DNF, The Loneness of Sonia and Sonny. Didn't enjoy it. But I want to get back to Buckeye. I put this to the side because I was just feeling a little bit stuck. And that's when I turned to The Murder of Roger Ackroyd. So I want to get back to that. I want to read The Wilderness. I still want to get back to Gilead and finish my Pulitzer Prize project on that. And I really want to do Dolores Claiborne by Stephen King, specifically on audio. Because who reads the audio?
Frances Sternhagen.
You have listened to it.
Is phenomenal.
We love Frances Sternhagen. Yes. And I do also want to plug the film adaptation because
it's awesome.
It's dark. Check the trigger warnings because it might not be for you. It is a heavy subject matter in that book. But it's also kind of great.
Judy Moffat is
Judy Parfait. Like, yes, where is her Oscar?
Yes.
For playing Vera Donovan.
Oh my gosh.
So good.
Yes.
So good. You had never seen that movie, and when I found that out, I think it was even in October a couple of years ago. Yeah. And I was like, we are watching this. And when it first started, you were like, this is awful. And then you met Vera Donovan.
Yes, I met Vera Donovan.
But it's also Kathy Bates.
And Kathy Bates. It was written for Kathy Bates.
It was. It really was.
After Stephen King saw her in Misery,
yes,
he wrote Dolores Claiborne for Kathy Bates. And she's phenomenal.
And I saw Dolores Claiborne when it came out on VHS in the 90s. And was a bit, I know. And I was a big fan of it. So I did go read the book in print at the time. And I remember really liking it a great deal. So, but Frances Sternhagen reading the audio, I'm honestly not sure how it's been years and I haven't caught up to that. So,
you're doing it.
So that's a little bit of what I might get into in October. Yeah. I don't think you're making any firm plans beyond the immediate.
No,
Do you
I
have
just want to see if
anything?
I can get into these and
Yeah.
get some back into my reading growth.
Yeah. And hopefully October will be an easier month.
Yeah, let's hope so.
Yeah, we'll see. So is that everything?
Yeah.
We have a babka to look at.
And if I don't read, then I'm going to bake. So
Yeah, it's baking season.
Yeah.
You've been looking forward to this. He's
have.
been starting like a list of things he wants to bake once fall comes and
I
fall's
want to
here.
do some challenging stuff too. So
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So-
And then I get to eat it. So I'm looking forward to all of this.
Yeah.
So
All right. That's awesome.
that's awesome. We have to have a babka to look at. I want to
do,
see how
yeah.
how this came out. So we'd love to hear what you read in September, what you might read in October. As always, we really appreciate your time, and we will be back. Until next time, happy reading.
Happy baking.